They didn't try and pick it.
Right.
They slam it down. Look how easy it is.
Every time I see defensive backs swatting down a ball in the end zone on a Hail Mary, we'll all think of Luke, won't we? We'll all think of Luke.
I think of Pete and his Air Monarchs on Saturdays.
The Air Monarchs. Okay, so the Steelers, this is the interesting thing. They go between Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. We didn't get the chance to show it to you, but they kind of alternated between those two quarterbacks in the fourth quarter. It didn't pay off. What did you make of Mike Tomlin's decision there?
Yeah, I don't know why they would do that. You know, I get that Fields is a younger guy. Let's start with Russ.
Yeah.
I know that it was not fluid at times. He started out very accurate, and then all of a sudden there's a stall, there's a lull. But he's a guy, I've played with him, where this is kind of the game he usually wins. He doesn't look great. It's very slow. And then out of nowhere, it's bing, bing, bing. We had a sweet drive. You know, defense got a turnover. We throw to Calvin Austin there, an absolute dart. He finds a way. He scrambles around. Again, it's not a fluid style offense, but get him in there. He's got to take time to get his rhythm. And the next thing is, for Justin Fields, it's a tough situation to put him in. It's freezing in the Cleve. There's snow everywhere. The wind is howling. He's sitting on the sideline, and then out of nowhere, it's just, okay.
Come on in.
Come on in and go make a play in a huge divisional game. So, Jay, I don't love it. I think it's a little odd. And you're seeing here, this is the throw Fields had to Pickens. They're off there. It's putting both guys in a very tough spot. You're riding with Russ. Go out there and do it. If you want to use Fields as your short yardage 4th and 1 guy, that's one thing. But to start rotating him in and out, it doesn't even work in high school. Right. Why are we doing the NFL?
Yeah, it's very confusing. You've said more than once on this show that you have the Chiefs as the #1 seed in the AFC. In your opinion, you have Buffalo neck and neck behind them, Buffalo and Pittsburgh neck and neck behind them. Does this loss to Cleveland change that for you in any way?
You know, I look at the Steelers, and obviously it's a game you'd like them to win.
Yeah.
But am I going to sit here and say this team's fraudulent? Absolutely not. You just had a huge win against Baltimore.
Yeah.
4 days later, you're on the road in Cleveland against a divisional opponent that is a lot better because they have a different quarterback playing now. And you come out here, and yes, there are some plays that they should have made, but the defense still forced some turnovers. And you lost in a snow game. Again, right now the field's green. We just talked about it. Here you go. It's a blizzard. So, yes, am I giving them a pass saying, okay, this team's, should have won? No, I believe they should have won this game, but I'm not going to sit here and bump them down, 3-4 spots. I still believe that in the top 3 right now, and there's a big argument, is Kansas City, Pittsburgh, and Buffalo. I think Buffalo fans would have them at 1.
Yeah.
I would obviously argue that the Steelers are right there as well. I still believe in the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But they do have an absolute gauntlet coming here, Jay.
Yeah, this is a tough schedule for sure.
I mean, it's going to be very, very tough because, as you see, the Bengals are not a bad team. Joe Burrow is playing at an extremely high level, and they still probably believe they have playoff hopes. You got the Browns again. You see the Ravens and Chiefs in there. This was a very tough one for the Steelers to let slip away.
As for the Browns, they beat the top team in the AFC North. They're 2-2 with Winston as the starter. Take me inside that locker room if you're the other players on the team and veterans like Garrett and Chubb.
Yeah.
Are you frustrated that it took Kevin Stefanski, Deshaun Watson getting injured before they were able to put Winston in and have him be this effective? Or is it kind of out of Stefanski's hands because they gave him, like Deshaun, so much money?
Jay, it's frustrating for some of the stars like Myles Garrett, but I'm going to take this a small, different direction. For the non-stars on this team, it's heartbreaking. And why I say that is because being on a winning team when you go into free agency or you're trying to develop a career matters. And you look at what Jameis has done since he's been in here. 4 games, he's 2-2 with wins against Pittsburgh and Baltimore.
Yeah.
In the loss against the Saints, he threw for 395 yards and 2 touchdowns, no picks. So my point here is for all those guys who don't have the mega gajillion-dollar deal, they need a coach, an organization, a front office to choose what's best for the team.
Yeah.
And the Browns simply did not do this. This Browns team with Jameis Winston is good enough to be in the playoff hunt. Would they be leading the division? I don't think so.
Right.
But I believe they're good enough to be in the playoff hunt right now, not 3-8. But instead, because our owner paid a guy who didn't deserve the cash and is not performing, we can't make him look bad, and we're going to stick with Deshaun Watson, and everybody else's career suffers for it. The offensive line, the tight ends, the wide receivers, Everybody. They don't get better at the game. And even guys like Njoku and Jerry Jeudy, who are still relatively young, have never had a QB, they need those reps. They need those reps. Hey, I'm a young guy in this league. I want to know what it feels like to take my third step and have a ball delivered on time, a quarterback that's reading the defense and executing the offense. I'm getting angry and a bit emotional because I know what it's like for these guys who have fought adversity their whole life. They get to the NFL, and then the front office jams them because they made a mistake. It's unbelievable, and if you're a Browns fan, you shouldn't stand for it because Jameis Winston makes his team so much better than what Deshaun Watson did.
Couldn't agree more, and can't wait to hear from him at some point after the game.
I mean, and the interviews are electric.
He's always entertaining, whether it's after the game or before the game. Okay, let's